Hannah, it's absolutely amazing to have you here, and actually I know how busy you are, so thank you so much for actually doing this and sharing your story. And one of the things I'd really like to to get things rolling is tell us a little bit about your business, and then we'll talk about how you got there.
Okay, so thanks for having me. I've got a bit of a cold today, so I apologise about my voice. Bit husky. So the business is called Toddle, and it's adventure skincare for families. And the USP here is we're helping families get out there, live their bucket list with products that I found weren't available when I was having my adventures. So I became a mother, and I was always a very adventurous person beforehand.
Yeah.
I've done cross-country skiing and mountain biking and sailing and lots of things when I was in the RAF. And then, I became a mum, still wanted to do those things, but I found particularly when we were in the Highlands or up in North Yorkshire, my sons would get windburnt cheeks, chapped lips, there was no healthy hand gel to use. So these are the 3 products I started making in my kitchen about 2 years ago now.
Wow.
And so then it carried on and grew with market research. I gained investment. I used ex-forces.
Yes, you did.
I trained myself because I didn't know anything about business as much as I could to then set up a business, and we've just launched.
Yeah.
So we do adventure skincare.
Yeah.
And we're the only people to be doing it. So.
And actually, I remember now. So you had a bit of funding from ex-forces, but it wasn't that long afterwards that you actually got some funding from the Welsh government as well. Would that be right?
So, So I sorted out my business loan, my very first cash into the business through ex-forces.
Yeah.
I then went after investment through the Development Bank of Wales, so that's equity investment.
Right.
And it's not actually the Welsh Government, but they helped me find my investors, sort of like speed dating for entrepreneurs and investors, which is a fantastic scheme because it can be quite hard to get in front of the right investors.
Absolutely.
At the right time. I have had Business Wales help through an export mentor, and I've just been out to an export fair in Germany.
Oh, brilliant.
I also tapped into the UK Government International Department for Trade grant to go to that export fair. And Great Britain is very much open for export.
Brilliant.
And the British government have been so helpful with those sorts of grants. So I've had bits of help from all over the place.
And actually that's quite a useful message as well, because with the current climate we do need to make sure that we are exporting more, but also I think there's a bit of support there for women entrepreneurs as well. And that's one of the reasons why I was so interested in getting your story out there, Hannah, because I think you are tremendous as a woman entrepreneur, but a veteran. And also, you're a spouse.
I am.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your connection to the services, both from serving and now a spouse as well.
Yeah, so I spent 9 years in the RAF, joined in 2008 as a personnel officer, and absolutely adored it. It really suited my personality down to the ground. I just loved my time in the RAF, and if anyone wants to join the RAF, especially if you're a woman, I highly recommend it. I still do to this day. For me and my family, it got to the point where I wasn't spending enough time with my family.
Yeah.
The specific job I was in, my last job in the RAF, I was having to travel a lot. I was spending 3 to 4 days a week away from home, and so I decided to leave at the same time, because obviously I don't even know this, but if you PVR, early terminate, at that time it was a year's notice.
Right. Okay.
So I put that in, and I built up the business on the side whilst I was waiting for my notice period to come to an end. My husband Ed was also in the RAF, so he's now left the RAF.
Right.
In fact, I stayed in for longer than him.
Oh, did you?
He
good for you.
Yeah. So we met when we were both at RAF Leeming. He was on 100 Squadron, I was on 90 Signals Unit.
Yeah.
And he asked me to go to his squadron for a burger.
Right.
So really romantic. And that's how it started. And actually, he came to help me write some SJARs, some like appraisal reports, and he wanted experience in writing reports. So I should have known something was up, because he's a pilot and they don't like admin, and he was coming to help me with reports, so I should have known that he quite liked me. So that was 8 years ago now.
Oh, fantastic.
Fast forward, him leaving the RAF to join Jet2, and now he's at Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah.
Flying planes, and then I left shortly after. So the family's back together again, which is fantastic. And with the pressures of starting a business and growing a business, which this last year has been about growth, it's just been the most busy, exciting year, but without his support there, I don't know how I'd have done it.
So were you a bit daunted when you first sort of started to sort of say, okay, this is what I really want to do, but actually, am I going to be able to pull this off? You know, going for funding as well, and all of that sort of stuff, or were you, you know, you were absolutely committed right from the get-go?
Yeah, so I think because, and I'm not just saying this because I'm here, because I had ex-forces.
Thank you.
Ex-forces. But no, because every step where I thought I don't know what I'm doing, there was the career transition partnership, then directed me to ex-forces.
Okay, that's how you got to find out. Right,
then I had my loan, which helped me fund intellectual property stuff, market research, product design, the basics.
Yeah.
And from there, I was exposed then to all sorts of different workshops and help. I attended a marketing course during my resettlement, an accounts course during my resettlement. Right. I think it was at Aldershot.
Yeah.
And so I never felt daunted. I don't know why now. Anytime I thought I don't know this, there was somewhere to go. There was an avenue, or there was somebody that had done it.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think I felt.
That's really good to know, because we're big champions on collaboration. We don't do everything ourselves, but what we do is that, you know, we've got the Saunders charity, and we've got the Legion, and we've got various other organisations, and including clearly the Business Bank, the British Business Bank. So it's a collection of bringing all of these things together that makes the sum of its parts, really, and you can dip in and dip out of that. I would love for you to talk a little bit about why you think this might be a route for spouses to explore. We've got, you know, we're actually hoping, fingers crossed, to be doing a big project in Salisbury in the near future, and that's with everybody coming back from Germany and supporting the families. Why would enterprise skills and self-employment, it doesn't always have to be a big limited business, it could be contracting, freelancing, but why is that actually quite a good choice for spouses, would you say?
So at the moment I work from North Wales, but I'm here in London today, and I can work from anywhere. So many businesses can be digital. So if you've got the internet, in 2019 you can run an incredibly successful business. You don't need bricks and mortar anymore. And so I think even when I joined the RAF back in 2008, there was a problem with spouses being able to gain local employment. And one of my roles, I touched on quite a lot of welfare, and it kept coming up again and again and again, how unfulfilled they were, and then that has an impact on retention, on divorce rates. It really has an impact on the forces. So I think if you're a spouse and you're moving around every year and a half, the thing that doesn't change is your ability to access the internet. And so I think now, more than ever, I mean, you can turn over hundreds of thousands in revenue on Etsy. These days, you can start up an Amazon business. Essentially, if you can sell a commodity or a service or a thing for more than you've bought it for, you've got a business, and you can do that anywhere. So I think for spouses, I think it's better to start a business than it is to join a company.
And I'm going to second you on that one, and I'm not suggesting that, you know, everybody should just start a business because sometimes it's not in the DNA. But we have over 30% of our community are made up of women, and a high proportion of that cohort are spouses. So and that's without trying. You know, we're not an organisation that just works with women. So, you know, I think that says something in itself, really, and it's something I'm proud of. But I would love to continue to showcase you as a woman in business, and, you know, you've done really well in just 2 years' time, which is great. Tell me a bit more about your business. Where would you like to take it? If we had a magic wand, what would that look like?
So I suppose I can't go into too much detail about which retailers we have interested. But for scale and growth, you need to shift big volume with what we're doing, fast moving consumer goods. So we need to shift big volume. So for me, it would be a quality grocer.
Right.
I'll leave you with your interpretations of which brands are quality in terms of grocery sector. It would be probably a large airline,
Right.
because we do gift sets, which would be perfect for somebody going skiing, somebody going on a winter.
I know
summer
somebody
break.
who might actually be able to
Well, there
crack
we
that
go.
nut.
There we go. And yeah, we're really lucky with who we've got to pitch to so
Yeah.
far, and we're having some of those ongoing conversations. So yeah, I think the export side of things is going really well.
Great.
UK retail is a tougher nut to crack.
Right.
And I think it's just nurturing those relationships and getting those orders in. So if I could wave my magic wand,
Right.
all of the relationships I'm nurturing would send me an order tomorrow.
Right.
That's my magic wand.
Right. Well, we're going to take this quite viral. So let's get that message out there. But I think it's really important to, and I've just picked this up. We didn't rehearse about this, by the way. So I've just picked this up. Hannah's doing really well exporting. Let's make sure that we're getting this into the British community as well. So I think that is something that should and must happen.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can support you with that.
Thanks.
Some final words. What would you say? A little bit about you and your personal journey. Tell us a little bit about you and how you feeling.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to say that I think not everyone. Some people look at entrepreneurs, and
Yeah.
I don't really like calling myself that. I don't think entrepreneurs do, but I'm somebody that set up a business, and it's a neat word of capturing that, isn't it? Lots of business startup founder people. A lot people assume we've got an MBA.
Yeah.
Mummy and daddy were very wealthy.
Yeah.
That I went to private school. Not really sound like it, but people assume that you've had it easy and that it's all just been given to you. Because I think people sit there and go, well, it's really hard starting a business, and I can't do that because I've come from here, or I've come from there, or I've not gone to the right university. I mean, I grew up with a bit of a difficult situation. My family weren't very supportive, in a nutshell, without going on about it too much. And I don't now have any relationship with my parents. They've never supported me. I don't even know if they know I've got this business.
Yeah.
And I think
they should do, because you're all over the place.
Well,
but hey.
yeah, that's another discussion. And I think that I went off the rails a bit, not outrageously. The armed forces brought me back on the straight and narrow big time. I mean, Cranwell my 9 months at Cranwell was just the best time of my life, because I finally had discipline. I finally had some money.
Yeah.
I finally was good at something.
Bless you.
People say they hated Cranwell. It was the worst time of their life. I absolutely adored it, and all the sport. And anyway, so I think for me, it's what I'm trying to say is I've got 2-2 in geography, which is quite useless for what I'm doing now. And I could have really taken a different path.
Yeah.
The RAF sorted me right out, and then gave me the resilience and the grit and determination to start a business. So it's not about, on paper, whether you've got an A in finance, although that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
You can ask the questions, you can get the advice, and just go for it, really. Don't be put off, because, and it is quite intimidating if you're at a pitching event and you're pitching with a guy who's just got an MBA from Cambridge or Oxford or Harvard, and you're there pitching, you think, well, who am I to be stood up? But then you win the pitching competition, you think, well, I've actually beat him, so I'm doing something right. So I think that back yourself, you've got to back yourself, and I think the journey I've been on has really shown me how resilient I actually am.
Yeah.
Thinking that I wasn't very resilient, we've had no end of setbacks. And the only thing, I'm really going on, sorry.
No,
the
not
only
at
thing
all.
that sets apart the businesses I know so say there were 8 businesses with me on my first ever course. There's probably 2 or 3 still going.
Yeah.
They're not the best ideas.
Yeah.
That they won't mind me saying, they probably aren't the best business people. They just have not given up.
Yeah.
And that resilience to have a terrible, terrible day in the office, and you think, the cash flow is terrible. Where are my orders coming from? That member of staff did this terrible thing, or I've got to discipline this person, or to just get back up and go, right, today's a new day. And then you get that little success, and you get another little success, and it's just, if you can just get enough little successes just to keep you going till the next thing that goes wrong, and you've just got to keep going.
Well, do you know what, Hannah? Your determination absolutely shines through. Your passion shines through, and I think your ability to communicate that for other people to be inspired as well is just second to none. But bringing it back full circle, I think you're absolutely right. The skills and attributes of the armed forces are very similar, sorry to use that word, as an entrepreneur who's never served. And there's a bit of research that we're doing at the moment anyway. But I can't thank you enough for, I love it when I see you on social media.
Oh, nice.
I love it when we see you as case studies and Quest magazines and all the rest of it. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much.